Here are some of the tools that we use for tree pruning, both apple trees and other trees. Some of them you'll be familiar with in your garden, some maybe not. We've got two types of tool, basically, tools that are chopping tools, and we have cutting tools. The first chopping tool is a simple hand tool, it's secateurs, and you may be familiar with these. The action functions by squeezing the lid, and the blade cuts against a surface here. The limit to these, you shouldn't be cutting anything bigger than your little finger. If you have something larger than that, you'd move on to the loppers. Work in a very similar way, but obviously have a longer handle, allows you to apply more pressure. They come with different size handles depending on which tool you buy. Rule of thumb for these, don't cut a branch bigger than your thumb. If you're having to really strain on these, then this is the wrong tool for the job, and you should move on to the cutting tools. The main cutting tools you might use are pruning saws. This is a fixed handled one. Just bear in mind that the teeth on these are designed to cut in one direction only. They only cut on the draw stroke, not on the push stroke. So just bear that in mind in case you get worried they're not cutting effectively. I prefer this type of pruning saw. This is a closed one. It's safe to carry around. The blade is guarded by the handle. You press a little button to release it and the blade comes out. You use it in the same way, draw stroke only, and then you press the button to relock it. This is lovely for carrying around. It's nice and safe to carry around. If the branches are larger still, and you're removing large branches in part of your pruning process, then you may need to use a bow saw. Bow saws, these D-handle ones are the best because you can get in amongst the branches. This is a standard blade. You can see evenly placed teeth. These teeth cut in both directions, push and draw strokes. If you have this sort of blade on your saw, this is a felling blade. This is not ideal for pruning. You can see there's larger gaps in between. It's designed for felling small trees. Ideally you want to replace this blade to a more standard blade such as this for tree pruning. Once you start working above height, there are other cutting saws and tools you can use. This, which we'll explain in more detail later, this is a pole saw, so this is effectively a saw on the end of a long pole. Allows you to reach into the tree. They come in different shapes and sizes. Here's one I made from an old ceiling painting tool. They're very easy to use, and I'll explain those later. And of course, you can get extendable loppers. So these are telescopic pruning tools. So again, to allow you to stay on the ground when you're working. Those are the basic tools. I'll explain a bit more about how we use them later.